In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the steps that are needed to make an application for an action cluster and then take that action cluster application form once approved and create a catalog entry in the wiki catalog for the GCTC. So let's start by going to the main GCTC wiki page, which is gctc.opencommons.org. And that should bring up this page, which has down here a catalog of GCTC clusters and superclusters. And the first item is the catalog itself. And the second item says creating an action cluster. If you click on creating an action cluster, you'll come to this wiki page, and it has 3 links on it. The first one is a GCTC participation guide, and that's where you should start. This first link is actually a link to the video you're watching now. So go to this link, which is the GCTC participation guide, and that will bring up a NIST connected page on a participation guide. It will give you a lot of information about what is required to submit, when things need to be submitted to get into certain timelines. And the first thing to look for is this GCTC worksheet template. If you click on that, you will get this template, which is, let me see if I can expand that a little bit, which is a template that tells you, that asks you things like the title of your action cluster, a brief description of it, the challenges and solutions. So this sort of describes the project that you're working on in some depth. And if you complete this document, then send it off to Sakuri at NIST, as is described on the participation guide. Let's see, I think I have a completed document. So let me just show you what that looks like. This one was for the Geneva Las Vegas Connected Vehicle pilot project. And you can see the brief description, and the challenges and solution, and all of this information. It rolled onto a second page once complete, which is fine, and describes the various components and parts of the project. So once you have filled in this form, then please send it in to Sakuri at NIST per the description on the participation page. And that will get you to hopefully an approved action cluster. Now, once you've done that, let's go back to this page. Actually, this is the participation page with the rest of the information, and tells you how to complete that form and where to send it off to. So let's go all the way back to the cluster page. So now you've completed the participation guide, and you get your approved action cluster back, and we want to put that into the form of a wiki page. This is the bare form of the wiki page. So that third link on the page will take you to this form. And this form basically asks for the same information you just filled in on the template, but in a different way that will, in fact, format it for a wiki page. So you'll want to just move all of that information over onto this template. And you can get the template from this Action Cluster wiki template. And let me show you what that looks like, because that's actually quite interesting. So let's go into the catalog, and let's go and find that Geneva project. It's under the transportation supercluster, and here you can see where it is, the Las Vegas Connected Vehicle Pilot. And if I open that, you'll see this nicely formatted page that completes the process of getting a catalog entry. And this page is the is the formatted page that is created from the document that I showed you earlier. Let's go and have a look at that too. Now, in order to go and have a look at that, you have to log in. I'm already logged in up here, but you need to log in and be able to edit the page. You can actually look at it. You'll see source up here, but actually what you want to do is edit. And to get this edit menu, you need to request an account. So come over here, the fourth item down on the left-hand side is request an account. Now this takes a few hours, so you want to do this before you get to try and fill in the wiki page. So probably want to do that at the same time as you're filling out the form to send off to NIST. If you go to this link, you'll be given access to this wiki access. The Modelato Foundation is the organization that hosts for us. And if you go in here, you can create an account. The first thing to do is to create an account. Once you've created that account, it does not yet have access to any of the wikis. We try to make sure we know who's got edit access, because obviously you can edit other people's action clusters. So we want to make sure that the people out there are who they say they are. So then would you please send me an email, wilfredpinfold@modelato.org, and just state who you are and which wiki you want access to, which in this case would be the GCTC wiki. And I, within a fairly short order, will give you access, certainly within 24 hours. So please request that a little bit ahead of time, and we'll get that approved, and you'll have access. So that means that when you come back to this page, you will find that this is now an edit button. Once you've logged in with your account, this will be an edit button. And so when you click on that, you'll see this source of that page. And this is the same, but with the correct data in it, that the template I showed you earlier was. Now, as you read through this, these formatting action cluster is actually the name of the template you're filling in. And so you put the title and the team. You can use MediaWiki formatting anywhere in this template. And if you're familiar with MediaWiki, that allows you to put in things like links and images and pages. In this case, to make it easy, the image is just a JPEG image. You'll find when you've loaded it that you actually need to upload the image onto the system. You do that by clicking the link when the page is up. This is not too difficult to do. You can go through. If you need multiple lines, and you will, like on this description, as long as you don't put a line break in here, it's all continuous. It's all considered a continuous line. So you either need a line break or put in another vertical line and start a new item. And you can, as you can see here, the star creates a bullet item, and you can just continue on as long as you don't put that line break in. All of this will format nicely in your system, and you'll see also that that you have some tags here. What supercluster is this particular action cluster associated with? In this case, it's transportation. You can actually associate with multiple superclusters, and you can associate with multiple years. You just add another line that says supercluster public safety, or supercluster energy, waste, and water, and you can put year 2017 and year 2018 if your action cluster is multiple years or is associated with multiple superclusters. So once you've filled this in, you can go down and you can show a preview, and that will show you a preview, but you can still go and edit the text. It won't have made it live yet, and you can see what I was saying here about the star creating bullet lists, and you can create tables, and you can drop in images. And you can put links to things like team members' pages. So you can actually do quite a lot in this template. and still keep the format common with the other ones. Once you're comfortable with it, click Save Changes, and the page will be published. And that's actually now live to anybody who has the URL and can find it. Other people who are not part of the team, anybody you want to send to this page, they can see it. Until they have an account on the page, they cannot edit it. But if you want to send your customers or partners to the page to see it, it is now a public wiki page, and they can get there. Once you're editing it, if you see changes happen on this that you aren't expecting, you can go back to the view history and you can see who's made the recent changes on that page. And you can even go backwards if somebody's made an edit that you didn't authorize and didn't want. But please be careful as you go in and work on these pages, not to disrupt other people's work. That's why we want to know who's out there. We just want to make sure that that everybody is a member of the GCTC and is contributing constructive material here. If you have questions, please feel free to send me email again, wilfred.pinfold@modelauto.org. And you can also go into the discussion section of this page and add some discussion if you see if you want to make a comment on someone else's work or suggest additions or other things. So the wiki is here for everybody to use. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to create an action cluster, and happy working. Thank you very much.